Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I'm really, really happy that you're here. So take this moment to arrive in your body and to arrive in this moment and to simply notice the way that the breath is moving inside of you. How is your breath moving inside of you? If your breath were like a warm tea, when the liquid of the tea enters the body, it just takes us, it tunes into us, it becomes part of us from wherever we are in that moment. And it's from there that the transformation begins. So just tuning into how the breath is moving in your body in this moment. And recognizing that, in this community of practice, the practice itself is a kind of Magnum Opus. It's not just these 30 minutes daily that we tune in with each other. The practice is something that we're doing the work of every day, all day, but it's these golden moments of specified practice that really get us in a crystalline state of being, that really create the coherence of our heart. So before we begin the introductory practices, we're going to do some breathing work that's going to bring the energy up from the earth and up through the earthy substantive centers of our body into our heart. If you've been in any of the sessions this week, I've been expressing that for the whole month of February, we're focusing on the medicine of the heart and coming at it from a lot of different angles. So tuning in right now to a moment of eye watching. Anytime that we are thinking, and particularly when we are speaking, we can oftentimes be talking about ourselves or talking about the world from the vantage point of I or me or mine. But then there's this alternate vantage point, right? Which is that of consciousness, which is that of the observer or of the witness. If you were in some of the sessions a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about the two birds within us. So no matter what your person needs to express or protect or defend or whatever, no matter what your personhood might need to say, it's never going to be as magnificent as the one who is witnessing. And so that's really what happens when we practice, is we gear shift, we toggle into the witness, which is always timeless, which is always expansive, which is always going to serve us. So take this moment to tune in to how you are noticing the breath, how you are participating in the transformation of this moment. Is it from a person or is it from your consciousness? And ask yourself, what is it that my consciousness wishes to notice? What is it that my consciousness may be wishing to express or say or communicate today versus my person? Oftentimes when we communicate from our personhood, it's from a place of weakness. When we communicate from our consciousness, it's massive, right? It's part of the panorama. And I feel that that is the allurement of this time, that we become very active participants in a heart-centric way in the boundlessness, in the vastness of the panorama. That is the Magnum Opus. So a couple more breaths here, my friends. Eye watching. So moving right along, I'd like for you to create a triangle. Join the tips of the thumbs and the tips of the index fingers, and then just kind of place that over. I know you can't see it in the screen here, but I've got it right over my lower dantian, right over the lowest portion of my belly before my fingers hit my meditation cushion. So I'm going to inhale low and long and slow through my nose. And as I exhale, I'm going to make a sound that sounds like TSU. just letting all of my energy earth. I'm letting all of my energy ground. Grounding, 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 connecting to the planet. Letting everything inside of you expand so that you are teaming up with your consciousness. Beauty, keep the breathing going. Beauty appears when something is absolutely and completely open to itself, and when it's absolutely and completely open as itself. So connecting absolutely and completely to yourself, connecting absolutely and completely to the earth, experiencing yourself as a reflection of the 10,000 mysteries, and knowing that the transformations, they never end. They never end. It's ceaseless, this process of becoming more and more of who we came here to be, of becoming more and more conscious. Let's take 3 more of these earthing exhalations. Feel the medicine of the element of the earth, all the earthy elements, bringing you into homeostasis. And enjoying this last earthing exhalation. Beautiful, so beautiful. Now we're going to create Gyan Mudra, and we're going to extend the arms and just rest the back of the hands on the tops of the knees, okay? And then we're going to do the Sitali Breathing. We were doing a version of it earlier this week in the cup of tea meditation session. So Sitali, this has to do with the element of water, and it's really going to cool out any of the heat of anxiety or worry that may be in your heart. You know, for myself as a woman, I always know one of the first indications of me being out of balance is when I notice that I'm worrying. So this is creating a cooling effect around the energy of worry or any of the other out of balance energies that tend to show up in the field of the heart. So just maintain and stabilize the mudra, and you're going to curl the tongue. If you can't curl the tongue, don't worry. I know it's just a genetic thing. You're going to curl the tongue like this. And you're going to inhale deeply, long and slow, elegant inhalation through the curl of the tongue. And that's creating the cooling effect. Then you're going to hold on to the breath for a second, and then you're going to exhale through the nose. And inhale again through the curled tongue. If for some reason anyone here on this call, live or there afterwards, can't curl the tongue, simply breathe in through your teeth, which is going to create the same air conditioning effect. And breathing into your heart, please, okay? So let's give this a try. Hold on to the breath. It may create a really kind of heady, etheric quality in your consciousness, but we want this. And then exhaling through the nose. So when the etheric quality is inhabiting you, let it allure you into kind of an advanced course in daydreaming. It's always good to have a few moments in the cascade of busyness that is our modern life. A few moments to connect to the big vision, the daydream. this breathing technique helps us to go from being hypervigilant to hyper-resilient. You know, the way that the world is and the way that we're connecting and communicating through technology all the time, it has made us hyper-vigilant. Let your consciousness expand into a field of connectivity that is hyper-resilient. Last one, breathe so deep into the tissues of your body, getting all of the issues out of the tissues of your body. This is Magnum Opus, beautiful. So we're going to create what's called the Venus lock. So you're going to weave your fingers like so, and you're going to join the thumbs and extend the thumbs like so. And you're going to press the thumbs into the third epicenter of the body, which is just below your sternum. And then pull your elbows out just a little bit. So you're experiencing that energetic engagement of the lock. So we're going to do our breath of fire with the mouth closed. So I'll demonstrate here for a moment. Again, I am pressing the thumbs. So it's like you're plugging the thumbs into the front gate of the body. So this breathing style is going to actively cultivate some navel skills. We're really interested in that. So every time you exhale, let your abdomen draw in and pull up a little bit. Okay, so let's give this a try. Let the way in which you're breathing, keep up. Let the way in which you're breathing catalyze a kind of self-regulatory effect in your body. Self-regulatory. So we're leaning less on external solutions and trusting more. This is a practice for self-trust. We're trusting more in our innate capacity to self-regulate. Keep it up, keep it up. Moving from I and me and mine into the expanded relational field of your consciousness. A couple more pulsations. And feeling how this is fire washing you. You're using the element of fire in this breathing technique to bring you into balance. As the witness consciousness. Again, when we see from there, it is always going to be our most supreme, magnificent lens. Honing the most powerful magnet in your human anatomy, which is your heart. Honing your heart. Beautiful. All right, so now the last practice, you're going to create the Prism Mudra. So you can join all of the fingertips in this way, and then hover the mudra just right out here in front of your heart center. And then through your nose, you're going to just simply breathe in long, elegant breaths. Into the back and the bottom of the heart. We're used to addressing the front and the top of the heart. You want to breathe into the back and the bottom of the heart. Again, honing, addressing, loving, open, the uncommon areas in the heart, in your heart. So breathing in long and elegant inhalations, and then let the breath stay within you for a moment there. And exhale also through the nose. Getting unhooked from the trauma body. You know, a lot of us, all of us, in some way, shape, or form, in this crazy time that we're in, our trauma bodies are activated, even if it's just a little bit. So you use the beauty and the magnificence and the medicine of this breath to unhook from the trauma body and to relax into the joy body, your joy body, enjoying these moments of breathing, allowing them to create a rapturous recalibration in the poetic aura of your quiet beingness, noticing how the breath is moving through you, greeting you right where you are. It's not pushing you, it's not pulling you, it's not telling you have to be something more, something less. It's just greeting you right where you are. And let this be the last inhalation. Very nice. All right. So, I'm not sure, what environment you're currently in. If you can lay back, that's beautiful. I was mentioning this idea of having like being in an advanced course for daydreaming. I'm going to play the gong, and so when we're in the field of the medicine of the gong, it is really useful for just that. So if you can lay back and take in these sounds, fantastic. If you can't, just get really comfortable on the cushion that you might be seated upon, or in the chair that you're in. Get really, really comfortable, and let everything expand. Let the I and the me and the mine, let the worry, let the agenda, let the to-do list, let the next meeting, let everything recede, and let yourself expand into that quantum relational field where you can recognize and remember that you have always been okay. That's one of the greatest indications of self-realization, is when we just get a split-second, side-eyed glimpse of the fact that we're okay, that everything is okay, even when it's not okay. There's still that quality of okayness. So I'm going to take a sip of my tea, I'm going to whirl around and play the gong for a few moments for us. So when we take time to hone the magnet of our human heart, we align with what is in it for we versus what is in it for me, right? It's the expanded consciousness. It is the collective lens. So I want to share with you a beautiful poem in closing here by Thich Nhat Hanh, and it's called Interrelationship, which I think is a beautiful expression of this idea of what is in it for we, and how can we be serving the we space as much as possible. And he said, "You are me and I am you. Isn't it obvious that we inter-are? You cultivate the flow in yourself so that I will be beautiful. I transform the garbage in myself so that you will not have to suffer. I support you and you support me. I am in this world to offer you peace, and you are in this world to bring me joy." So recognize that every time you take time to meditate, that you take time to take care of yourself, that you are actually taking care of the world. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you feel really alive and connected to yourself and to everything that is alive. I hope to see you next week sometime. Have a beautiful weekend. Sat Nam and Namaste.